How to run Doom and Linux apps on Android's new terminal. Full setup guide. Imagine running your favorite Linux games and applications directly on your Android device. This isn't just a dream anymore. The latest Canary build of Android's Linux terminal app has taken a significant leap forward, allowing users to run graphical Linux applications. This development is a game changer for Android enthusiasts who have been eagerly awaiting the ability to run full desktop apps on their mobile devices. But here's where it gets controversial. While this feature opens up a world of possibilities, it also raises questions about the future of Android and its integration with Chrome OS. Let's dive in. The Linux Terminal app, introduced by Google earlier this year, is more than just a tool for running command line programs. It's a gateway to a full-fledged Linux environment within Android. By booting up an instance of Debian in a virtual machine, users can access a wide range of Linux applications that are not natively available on Android. However, until now, the app has been limited to running command line programs. That limitation is about to change. In the latest Canary build released by Google, the Linux Terminal app now supports graphical Linux applications. This means you can run full desktop apps directly on your Android device. To enable this feature, simply open the Terminal app and look for a new display button in the top right corner. This button launches the graphical environment, allowing you to run applications like Gedit, a basic text editor. And this is the part most people miss. You can also enable hardware acceleration for better performance, making it possible to run even more powerful Linux software and games. Earlier this year, we showcased the potential of this feature by running a Linux port of Doom in the Android Terminal app. For months, Google has been working on adding hardware acceleration support and a full graphical environment to the Linux terminal. However, these features were not available in any public builds, requiring us to compile Android from source to test them out. But with the July 2025 Android Canary build, the Terminal app has been updated to include graphical app support. Once you open the Terminal app in this build, you'll see the new display button. Clicking this button launches the display activity, which forwards graphical output from the Linux VM to the Android host. In this graphical environment, you can type the Weston command to open up a graphical environment. Weston is a reference implementation of a Wayland compositor, a modern display server protocol, and it comes pre-installed with Android's Linux terminal. By default, hardware acceleration isn't enabled in the Linux terminal. To enable it, you need to create an empty file named VirGL renderer and place it in the SD card Linux directory. If you see a toast message that reads VirG enabled when you open the Linux terminal, then you've done things correctly. The addition of graphical app support in the Linux terminal is a significant development. It opens the door to running many useful Linux programs that aren't available on Android. It also paves the way for running PC games in the future, though more work will need to be done to make them compatible, especially since most Android devices have ARM CPUs. Regardless, this is a big step forward in Google's plans to combine Chrome OS and Android into a single platform. We're excited to see how things proceed. Although this feature is enabled in the latest Android Canary build, we don't know when it will land in the beta or stable channels. We're hoping that Google will roll it out in the second quarterly release of Android 16, which is scheduled to roll out in December. However, there's no guarantee the company will do so. So what do you think? Is this the future of Android, or is it just a step too far? Will this integration make Android more versatile, or will it complicate things for users? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Android Canary 2507. Unveiling the latest features for Pixel devices. Are you ready to dive into the latest cutting-edge features of Android? Google has just released Android Canary 2507 for Pixel devices, bringing us one step closer to the future of mobile technology. But here's where it gets controversial. While this version is packed with exciting new functionalities, it's also a double-edged sword due to its experimental nature. Android Canary is essentially Google's playground to developers eager to test the latest Android APIs before they become mainstream. Unlike the more stable beta releases, this channel is specifically crafted for those who are comfortable with potential glitches and system quirks. Google explicitly warns that these builds may contain bugs or issues that could affect your device's normal operation. In simpler terms, they're not suitable for everyday use. Another important point to note is that not all features introduced in the Canary channel will make it into the final stable Android release. It's like trying out a new recipe. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. This release replaces the previous developer previews phase, which came before the Android beta program, ensuring a smoother transition between different stages of development. Android Canary 2507 is available for a wide range of Pixel devices, including the Pixel 9a, Pixel 9, Pixel 9 Pro, Pixel 9 Pro XL, Pixel 9 Pro Fold, Pixel 8a, Pixel 8, Pixel 8 Pro, Pixel 7a, Pixel 7 Pro, Pixel 7, Pixel 6a, Pixel 6 Pro, Pixel 6, Pixel Fold, and Pixel Tablet. To install it, you'll need to use the Android Flash tool at https://flash.android.com, and future updates will roll out as over-the-air OTA upgrades. This particular build, ZP11.250.627.09, marks the second Android Canary release, with the July 2025 security patch level. It follows the initial update, ZP11.250.606.0010A1, released on July 10th. Although we haven't seen the on-device OTA update yet, we managed to install via flash.android.com. One of the notable changes in Android Canary 2507 is the addition of graphics to the always-on display settings page, making it more visually intuitive. Another improvement is the enhanced toggle legibility, similar to what was introduced in Android 16 QPR1 Beta 3. Canary 2507 also introduces an expanded or forced dark theme for apps that haven't implemented their own dark modes. However, this feature has a quirky quirk. It reverses the dark themes of apps that already have native support for it. The second image below demonstrates the native dark theme, while the third illustrates the expanded version. Lastly, lock screen shortcuts are now enclosed in a rounded square design. This change is being rolled out gradually across devices. So, what do you think about these new features? Are you excited to try out the expanded dark theme? Or do you prefer sticking with the traditional methods? Share your thoughts in the comments below.